Hello there and welcome to Old Man Gaming and Kerbal's space program Realism Overhaul. Now, if you've been following my live streams, you'll know that I am new to the Realism Overhaul mod and I'm learning as I go. Now, the purpose of this series is to take what I have learned and to do short tutorials on how to complete the various missions found in the Realism Overhaul mod. I hope you find them instructive. Please feel free to join me in my live streams and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Hello there and welcome back to Old Man Gaming UK, Kerbal Space Program Realism Overhaul Mission Walkthrough Episode 5. The date is now the 20th of February 1952. As usual, let's just quickly check where we're up to with research and development. We've got all the first nodes there, completed their research, and we're still on early rocketry. So if you are following along with me, as long as you are up to the early rocketry stage, we are good to go. Now, this is my second attempt at recording this video, and the game unfortunately crashed just after I accepted the mission in my initial recording. So that is the reason why we have the altitude sounding rocket intermediate already selected. So in this mission that we're going to be doing, it's just a simple one: reach 70 kilometers with 140 units of sounding payload. We don't need any biological containers, we don't need any parachutes. We can allow this rocket can just basically be destroyed with no safe return needed. So that's what we've accepted there. So let's just jump out of this. Okay, so first off, let's just check our upgrades. We've got 47,000 there, so we can do 2 more upgrades. So let's buy 2, put 1 in VAB and 1 in research and development. So now we've got 9 points each. Let's jump into our vehicle assembly building. Okay, and we've got our SR4 rocket loaded. So first thing we're going to do is just going to rename this to SR5, and we'll change what, and I like to put what mission we're doing. So we're doing the altitude sounding rocket intermediate, and it's 70 kilometers with 140 units of sounding payload. So that's what our mission parameters are. We'll just do a quick save. So SR5. Now for this one, we don't need the parachute underneath, so we can get rid of that. And we don't need the biological sample container either, so we can get rid of that. So what we should have remaining, starting from the bottom, is our small launch clamp, our Tiny Tim booster ×2 with a decoupler in between them. Now, something that I've actually been forgetting was the decouplers, so I just want to make sure that we don't have any force percent. So that's 0, that's 0, and this should be 0 as well. Impulse, force, and 0 on those. Okay. We then have our rocket with our 4 fins attached, and just to give you a quick look of how those, just in case you haven't been following along with this series and this is the first time you've joined us, these are the procedural wing measurements that I've added on those fins there. And on the bottom ones here, we have a slightly smaller version on the bottom ones, as you can see. Okay, and our tanks, we're going to leave as is. So we're going to be doing 1.9 meters or 19,000 millimeters on the bottom there. It's a high pressured aluminium tank, and the same with the top, a high pressured aluminium tank with a bottom ratio of 400 millimeters and a 0 ratio on the top, smooth cone peaked, and with this one it's 400 and 300 on the bottom to match the Aerobi engine that we're using. We are using the upgraded version of the Aerobi, so we're not, if you're still on, if you click on that and it shows switch to X or upgrade to AXSR1, that is what you want to do. Make sure that you upgrade your engine. If your upgrade is not available, that means you haven't completed your post-war rocketry node as of yet. So you will want to speed through that before you'll be able to complete this mission. Right. That being said, that should be it. This should be all we really need to complete this mission. Like I said, we only have to get to 70 kilometers. We've already tooled these previously, so we don't have to change anything at all other than just removing those components. Everything else remains the same, and I think that this should get us above 70 kilometers. We can have a quick look here. We've got a burn time of 45 seconds. Actually, that reminds me, we haven't updated the payload, so we need to change that. So right click on your top engine, remove all tanks, and then go into your tank user interface. Move the tank user interface away from your staging, because you can accidentally click through and change your staging down there. So we want to add 70 to the top. I want to update that, and then we want to add our fuel by clicking underneath there, and we can close that interface. And then we want to do exactly the same on the bottom. Remove all tanks, tank user interface, add 70 on the bottom. That gives us a combined 140 for what we need. Again, click on the fuel there, and we can close the interface. And that is everything we need. We just do a quick save, and like I said, our tooling should be done. It is. Okay, all we have to do now is just start production of the rocket. And if we go into here, show hide vessels, SR5 is being built, and it's only going to take 33 days. These rocket launches, build times are getting lower and lower and lower. Current launch pad, rename launch pad 1. I didn't know you could do that, but we'll just leave that. Okay, so let's come out of here. Now that we're back at the Space Center, what we want to do is warp to the end of reconditioning. And then you see straight away we've got the SR5, 33 days to complete. So we'll warp to that. And next stage is our early rocketry. We've still got 62 days left on that one. So click on vessels, click on rollout, warp to complete for rollout. Those rollout times are getting quicker as well. And we just want to click on launch. Now I would recommend that you guys do simulations beforehand. I've obviously done a lot of testing before I've recorded this video, so if you haven't, don't just take my word for it. Do some simulations, play with the figures yourself, and see how, you know, if you can do any better than I can do. I'm no expert at all. So let's just click on launch. Okay, here we are at our launch pad. Let's get our science up and running. I do this every time, even though I don't think we are really going to be collecting any science points from this, but it doesn't hurt just to be, you know, just to be sure. And we'll just bring our contract up, make sure that we've met all requirements to this point. Oh, it's at the top. Usually it's at the bottom, but anyway. So we want to launch uncrewed sounding payload of 140. We want to make sure that number is correct, so that's good to see. And we just have to reach 70 kilometers. Okay, so we just need to throttle up our engines and launch in 3, 2, 1, go. And we're off. We'll speed it up. And we've reached, we're going to reach an altitude of just over 76,500 meters. And you can see over here, reach 70 kilometers, 140 units of sounding payload. And that is basically it. We really have completed the mission already. We just need to now wait for the rocket to crash to the ground, and the mission will be over. So let's speed that up again. And it looks like that the stresses were too much for most of the rocket, with only the avionics surviving to hit the water there. So we can now leave this, go back to our space center. Okay, and it was as simple as that. Unfortunately, we didn't get any science from that one, so we're still on 3.7 science. But it was a very simple mission, and I hope you found it instructive. Anyway, that's it for me. Until next time, I am going to say bye for now. Have a good one, and bye-bye.